Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time for some more Sorcery. Steve Jackson's wonderful creation. Now, last time I left off supping with these poachers. And in all fairness, by partaking of their purloined pork, I have committed a minor felony. However, the city is such a crime-ridden, decadent cesspit that it's barely worth noticing, you know. What can I say, officer? I am innocent. I merely joined these fellows to share in their meal. Little did I know that it was pilfered. Oh, my shock and horror at the revelation. And now they've been joined by this doxy, this floozy, this woman who tells them what to do. Let's see. Sirisi is our treasure. Sirisi is how we know what we should do. You'll see. You'll see, as in she will make you know what to do as well. This feels like a trap. So here we are, picking up where we left off. And I don't have a spell casting opportunity. Now, when I cast the sus spell before this encounter, I was informed that there was no danger. However, Sirisi was not here when that spell was cast, and I don't know if her involvement was taken into account. By arriving and adding herself to the scene, the situation has changed. Now it may be more dangerous. Greetings, Sirisi says. What can I help you with? I need no help. Help me how? How could you help? What kind of help could you offer? Right. I can ask her about the North Gate. However, I've already asked them about the North Gate. So if I don't mention it, one of them might speak up and say to her, well, he wants to get through the North Gate. And I'd be like, oh, bugger, you're telling all my secrets there. Now I'm in trouble. But I think they're so overawed and spellbound by her presence that they might not do so. So yeah, what kind of help can you offer? And I hope this doesn't get me in trouble. She laughs. Did they not tell you? As she speaks, she squats down onto her heels and places the cloth on the ground. Unwrapping it slowly, she reveals an orb of crystal. Do I want to steal the crystal ball? No. If I look at it, will I become hypnotized? I met another fortune teller already. So that could be dismissive. That could be saying, oh, I've already met a fortune teller. They told me everything I need to know. It would be interesting to see how she reacts to that. She could say, oh, don't listen to that fraud. Then again, she told these people to go steal a pig. This is a little more confrontational. I'll hold off on this. Why? Right, if she's going to read my fortune, why should I affect it by letting her know that I have yeah, this is like a second opinion, right? So, you're some kind of fortune teller then? Sirisi sees all, one of the poachers calls out. For instance, which fields will be left unattended, says another with a hearty laugh. For instance, which fields will be left unattended? Yeah, let's ask one of the others to have their fortune told and see what happens. See if they seem to become spellbound in some way, and maybe even cast a spell. You look around the group for one who seems most uncertain and unsure of himself. You, why don't you hear your fortune? He looks uncomfortable, but Sirisi grins and the others insist. Go on, Let's hear it. Maybe you'll be getting married this decade. He sits opposite her in the mud. She places her palms on the crystal and begins to hum. It doesn't look like any fortune-telling spell you've ever read about. Now I'll wait and watch, and maybe cast a spell of my own. A minute passes, then Sirisi's eyes flick open. I see a long journey, she says to the man, to a distant land. I see danger and excitement. Maybe she is looking at my fortune after all, and playing with me. You keep your eyes fixed on her closed eyelids as she talks, trying to catch a reflection of any stars. I see more. You must watch for a dagger and a fish. I see a road paved with white stone leading to a place of great sadness. The tomb in the graveyard. A blind man who will stab you in the back. She lifts her palm from the glass and smiles. Someone gets her some pork to eat. I'll offer to tell her fortune. We'll see where this goes. This has potential to be interesting. Let me try reading your fortune, you declare into the quiet that follows her reading. You tell someone else's. You must be curious about your own. Sirisi stops eating to stare at you. There is a murmur of excitement from the group. This is a most unusual challenge. You? She demands. And what do you know of fortune-telling? It doesn't look hard. Look, this ought to shut her up. I'm a sorcerer. She raises a thin, dark eyebrow in cool surprise. Are you? You hold out a hand for the crystal orb. Not taking her eyes off you, she puts it into your hand. Then she sits defiantly down in front of you. Well then, tell me what you see for poor old Sirisi, she declares, her eyes flashing with the challenge. You take a moment to collect your thoughts. The orb is pleasingly heavy in your palm. Is it a spell component? Do I want this? And in fact, if I do, stealing it probably wouldn't have worked, but this may be an opportunity. If I can prove that I can tell a convincing fortune, maybe they'll let me keep it and decide that she's not very good with it after all. Pendulum, no. I don't... Oh, far! In conjunction with the orb of crystal, this spell will enable its user to see a little way into the future. The orb must be held in the hands, and very little control can be exercised on exactly what will be seen. Absolutely. I'm going to cast a spell. Make something up. The warrior option. You will meet me and you will give me this. No F? F. A. Ah, yes. You cast this. Is this like someone's going to stab me in the back? You cast the spell, placing your hands on the crystal orb. Your mind clears and a vision forms, but it is not of Sirisi and her future, but of your own. You see yourself in a low stone shrine somewhere in the city of Khare. A man in a long white robe stands at your elbow. He is speaking. What is the answer to the question that has never been asked? You see your own mouth opening to reply. Ooh. Yeah, but it'll be a choice, so maybe... You concentrate as hard as you can, struggling to maintain the vision. Then, as it begins to slip, there is a touch in your hand. Another presence joins yours. She's spying on me. She's trying to see what I see. Sirisi. I could stop the spell to deny her the vision. Or challenge her, call her out. Maybe it is the answer to the question. Sirisi, you breathe. In your vision you see the man in the white robe bow his head, defeated at the word. The vision fades. Sirisi is watching you intently, wanting to hear her fortune. The crowd around lean eagerly in. I see your fortune. I see you losing several friends. I see you telling great fortunes. Well, that's easy, right? And how could it tie into this? In your vision? This isn't necessarily but it is. Interesting. Maybe she is like the man in the white robe, but I think this is the Temple of Slang. And the priest of Slang dressed in white, asking a question. If her name is the answer, why is her name the answer? I'm gonna risk it. I see you losing several friends. You say, and you see her smile slip a little. Is that all? She asks nervously. I see you giving me this orb. I see you divulging a secret. Yes, let's do that, because I might still get the orb anyway. I see you divulging a secret, you continue. Sirisi looks stunned by your words. She clearly believes you a true psychic. A great and weighty decision seems to pass across her face. She looks to you for a moment to confirm it, then nods once more and turns to her friends. Please be quiet, all of you, she says quietly. The stranger is right, and I must make a confession. I'll wait and see what happens. Hopefully they don't beat me up. You wait and watch. I'm not a fortune teller, Sirisi continues sadly. That is my secret. The poachers cannot believe there is. One denies it, another claims to have known all along. A third, who it seems lost a lot of money on a bet once, becomes quite enraged and is held back by two more. Within a few moments, the whole group are rolling around in the mud, engaged in the most almighty punch-up. And now, I will slip away with the orb. I could try and break them up, get thumped a few times. What will that do? Make her angry that I'm now standing up for her? No, I'm just going to depart. In the commotion, it's easy to get away until one of the men shouts, "It's all his fault!" Now I'm going to have to leg it. You try to run, but a man the size of a horse dives for your legs, and a moment later you're down in the mud in the middle of the bruise-up of your life. You crawl out from under a pile of 15 men to find the precious orb is shattered to a million fragments, and several of those fragments have cut in your leg and side. You know what? I think I should have not. You know what? Let's experiment. Do cast a spell. I'm retracing my steps. Just a theory. So this was sus. No, not dud. S. There we go. So then, greet them. Sit. Eat. Ask of the North Gate. Business is my own. Yeah, they're poachers. They're not going to make a... who do I ask about the lines? Because she's got to be coming soon, right? There's... I've been told to find a priest to ask. Shrine of Slang. There's north of the square with the well in it. Who is Sirisi? You'll see soon. How can you help? Do. Another one. Wait and watch. Keep watching. And then turn it round on her. Once again, we will see far. Call her out. Yep. Yep. And confessing. Wait and watch. If I tried to slip away earlier, they might have seen. Now it's agitated. Now, no, I'll... Someone snatches... So, okay, so I literally don't get to keep the orb. So if I tried to... Again, suspicion, right? Cast sus. I suspect I can't get the orb at all in that case, and it's a trap to just... Well, let's see. Maybe I need to just not pick a fight and say, I see you giving me the orb. Just call it as it is, right? That's an interesting possibility. If I tried to sneak away earlier before they got into a fight, maybe. Ask about the city. Ask for some of a pig. Yeah, take it. Ask of the gate. Don't tell him about my quest. Meet the lady. See, I'm curious now. All right. I'm distinctly curious. So, even if I don't get to keep the orb, I still get to have the vision. And that's valuable, especially if I haven't played the adventure before. Especially as her name is such an obscure thing that it might not be available. I see your fortune. I see you losing several friends. She's nervous. I see you... okay, I'm going to wait and watch slip away. So that's exactly the same result as staying. That's weird. Yeah, that doesn't work. Huh. Okay, I will try the last option, because unless I somehow clicked the wrong one there that I'd already clicked and didn't realise. But I am intrigued by this. This is a distinct... so, you know, maybe there's no way I can get to keep this orb at all. But that I got to use it. And maybe I can find another one later on, or this is the only time I need to cast the spell. Yeah, I've been invited, that's it. Ask about the city. Again, don't dig too deep into each other's business. They're petty criminals. I'm not going to try steal the orb when it's right there, the centre of attention of everyone looking at it. Wonder if I let her tell my fortune and I cast a spell and then call her out. That would be an interesting one. But hang on, though. Hang on. Keep watching. Offer to read hers. then if I say I see her telling a great many fortunes, she's not going to give me the crystal ball. But if I get her to give it to me and they stop following her because she doesn't have it, then she doesn't have to confess. And I mean, they're still not going to be her friends, but her life won't be quite so bad. So I see you losing several friends, and I see you giving me this orb. You continue. Sirisi looks stunned by your words. She clearly believes you a true psychic. A great stranger is right. I must make a confession. Oh, shit. Seriously? Okay, that's... Well, I stick with my original one instead of telling her out, so... Yeah, look, it's close enough, okay. So it would definitely seem that I don't get to keep it in any way, shape or form. Which is intriguing, because I still got to use it. Sirisi is the answer to a question. A man in a white robe in a temple. The question that has never been asked. So, what am I trying to do here? The narrow path, which will lead to here, but then I want to come back this way later on, and I want to go down here. So I'm going uphill, and then I'll head down this way if I can, towards the wonderful fairground. Sorry for faffing around about a bit too much there. I was satisfying my curiosity to see how the options would play out. The road climbs between high fences and then into open fields. A little further on you see another rock face as Khare climbs another level, but at the top of this one is a line of grand houses with ornamental roofs and pillared colonnades. I'll look at the buildings. This is where the richer creatures of Khare live, looking down across the fields they own. You can imagine them sipping iron wine on their balconies and watching the toil of the farm workers through a spyglass. But the more you look, the more you realize something is wrong. A tree grows from one roof. Another has slipped sideways into the yard of the neighbouring house. These places are falling into ruin. You knew Khare was poor, but this is worse than you'd heard. Well then, a junction is it? The road carries on, rising very slightly through thin and meagre fields. Scarecrows made from skeletons hang from posts on either side, their bones rattling in the breeze. There is no one about. With the hottest part of the day approaching, you reach a crossroads of sorts. To the right of the main road, a track lined with coloured flags leads along the line of the cliff. A short distance from the road is a small hut built from mud bricks. Smoke rises from its chimney, and thick, rich smell wafts from its door. If it is a shop, it can't get much trade, stuck out here in the middle of the fields. I've eaten today already. Yeah, sure. Take the main road. No, I'll go this way. And when I get here, we'll see if I can go round back down south again or not. You follow the wide path between the flags. After a few minutes you notice something in the distance. A dark mass with bright colours shining through. It's not until you hear the sound when you realize what it is. A huge crowd of people gathered around a set of tents. It is a fair. Let us enter the fun fair. People and creatures sprawl across the path, and several tents have been erected, their poles joined together by more flags. You ease your way into the edge of the gathered crowd. It all looks good-spirited and fun, and with so many people here, perhaps you will pick up useful information about the spell lines and the city nobles. Look around or listen. I'll listen. You mill through the crowd, keeping your ears open for anything interesting, but most people in the centre of the field are arguing over where to go next, or lamenting how many gold pieces they have spent. You might do better to have a closer look at something. Very well, I'll take a... Why can't I look? Why can't I look? No look? No look. Top of the midway. Well, maybe I should have done that then. Oh well. You walk to the north end of the fairground midway. The fair continues from here, and a road leads away uphill. The place is full of bluster and noise. Huge numbers of people crowd around the boxing ring, and more clap their hands and stamp as they watch a group of dancers. Bare-knuckle boxing? No. Leave the fair, the end of the fair. So this could be another leaving, or it could be a location. Middle of the midway. I've already had enough getting punched today already, so no. You head over to the crowd, to where a crowd are watching the troupe of dancers who spin and swirl in time to a lively tune. There is something quite hypnotic about the performance. Oh! Jig, 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 or mag. Jig or mag. Jig or mag, jig or mag, jig, jig, jig. I see jig! Oh, so tempting! They try to... I'm thinking it's a There's no mag. No magic protection. Interesting. Niff is a bad smell. I have the nose plugs. Somebody farted. Slowness. Not clumsiness. Is it dud for clumsy? It may be, but... Sus... I suspect... I do suspect danger. But I'm going to live dangerously. Cast Jig. Then I can call the tune. You cast the spell and begin to play your pipe. With the other dancers already setting a wonderful mood, the spell's effects are magnified, and soon the entire crowd is dancing and jigging with each other. It is quite a sight, 100 of Khare, strange and wonderful creatures, all waving their arms and stamping their feet. After about half an hour, the crowd grows tired and wanders off arm in arm and claw in claw to see the other attractions of the fair. One of the musicians approaches you. "Nice work," he says. "Not often we get a talented amateur for the thieves' dance. The crowd will think you were a stooge." The thieves' dance? Yeah, they're robbing people, aren't they? You ask? The musician shrugs. It's just a name. He looks you over with a canny eye. Pack, sword, battle scars. You're not from Khare, are you? Not just here to enjoy the fair? Maybe you can help me. I mean, I presume he's grateful. I'm not going to shake his hand. Maybe I can. The musician drops down to the dirt and puts out a hand. "My name is Jira, and it's good to meet you." I don't think he can rob me just by shaking his hand. You shake his hand. "So," he says, "you helped us get enough coins to pay for our night. How can I help you?" "I need to find the city nobles, or I need to open the north gate. We've already established not all of the nobles are alive. Is this man going to know anything? I need to find the city nobles." Jira looks at you for a long moment, clearly surprised, but not questioning you. "Well," he says finally, "you won't find them at a fair like this. They say Sansus has been locked up in the council for the last few months, and as for the others, no one knows where they've gone. I'd try the other side of town. There's at least one big house there that belongs to a noble. He's a scholar by the name of Lorag. Who is Sansus? I mean, I know, but I want to know what you want me to know, or what you think I need to know. Jira laughs. First noble of Khare, he replies, and I wouldn't forget the name either if I were you. He gets to his feet. We're staying at the Meat and Cleaver by the docks, and I wouldn't recommend anywhere else. If you value your freedom, I'll see you there. He winks and nods off and heads off into the crowd. The fair spreads out all around you, a collection of booths and rings and tents and stalls. Hawkers announce the various attractions at the top of their lungs, and the general atmosphere is cheerful with just a hint of violence. You found one new clue, and other clues have been updated. New clue, he's been locked up in the council chambers for a while. Scholar lives in a red quarter of the city in a large house close to Fireview Square. That's not exactly what he said. So what got updated? I suppose that's for a new clue. First noble census knows. Yeah, okay, so that hasn't quite... I may have missed something there. Oh well. Right. The middle of the midway. How long does it... What happens when I get past the midway? Is there like the far way or the end way or something? You push your way through the crowds to the very heart of the fair and look around at the attractions on offer. A dancing bear? A beer tent? Oh. Ooh. I don't have the green-haired wig. You cross the fair to join a crowd gathered at a safe distance around a dancing bear. A dwarf stands in front of the bear, holding a lead that is fastened to a ring in the creature's nose. "See my beauty dance," he growls, jerking the cord. The bear stumbles around in obvious pain. As he tugs the cable, he plays a pipe with great gusto. The crowd are in stitches of laughter at the poor bear's performance. A clap along. This could be a jig spell. Probably not. If I try to free the bear, that isn't gonna... There's a crowd who'll be angry. Not a good idea. I'll watch for a little. What changed? One of these numbers changed. Yeah, one of these numbers changed. You hang around for a moment and watch, mostly curious to see if the bear will strike down his miserable little owner. Suddenly a cry goes up from somewhere in the audience. "My gold! My gold! Pickpocket! Beware, there's a pickpocket at work!" There certainly is. I think I lost about 5 gold. You and the rest of the crowd spin towards the voice and see a small creature darting off away from the crowd and into one of the tents. I will absolutely chase him. You elbow your way through the crowd, hoping to grab the pickpocket, but there are too many people in the way. By the time you're pushed to the edge of the crowd, the little figure has vanished. Someone shouts, "What's happening to the dwarf?" I can look back at the dwarf, go after the pickpocket. I think this was like a double spell, so like he's an illusion and the one running off the pickpocket is the dwarf, so I'm gonna go after the pickpocket. You slip quickly away, listening to the hue and cry as more of the crowd discovers that they too have been robbed. You keep one firm hand on your gold until you're back outside the crowd. From across the field comes a murmur of excitement, then quite suddenly, a small tornado lifts a tent sharply up into the air and away. He's making his escape. Yes. Well, I'll go to the beer tent. I don't think I can get much money there. I'll head down this way then, the end of the midway. You walk to the south end of the fairground midway. Well then, with a small tent, slip out of the fair a barrel bow. Barrel bow? As in bower? No, it's probably a bow. Right. You approach the small tent. By the door, a young elven woman is collecting the entrance fee. One gold piece, she declares, winking at you. Oh, what's inside? Marco the Amuser, she replies, still smiling and winking. Perhaps there's something wrong with her other eye. He's very funny. 1 gold piece. All right, I'll pay her. I'll indulge for now. You hand over 1 gold piece and the elven woman steps aside and gestures inside the low tent. Sorry, was that step? Did I say steps inside instead of steps aside? Bizarre. Green-haired wig! Inside the tent, the inside of the tent is dark. There are no candles or lanterns and the cloth is thick black velvet, preventing any sunlight leaking inside. In the centre of the floor, a man with green hair is sitting cross-legged, his eyes closed. I'll look at him. You look the man over. He seems ordinary enough, except for his shock of bright green hair. He doesn't seem to notice you at all. There is a deep silence inside the tent. The business of the fair outside is quite forgotten. I'll approach the man. You step closer, expecting the man to leap up or react, or in fact do anything, but he simply sits there as you approach to within arm's reach. From here it is clear his green hair is in fact a wig. Is this a man or a mannequin? What spells do I have? This feels like a trap, right? Wait. I'm not going to lightning bolt the guy. No. Is that sus or sap? Sap? He's very funny. If I make him really depressed, he might give me the wig. There's an idea. Mud causes quicksand, so no. Tell. Yeah. You slip on the skull cap and cast a spell. With it on your head, you find the mind of the man in front of you and are surprised to find that he is suppressing a gale of laughter. Something about this situation is very funny to him, it seems. Probably the fact that I'm seriously overthinking it. Yeah. Slowness. There's no locked door. Sap. Sure, let's see where this goes, right? You cast the spell and the man in front of you sighs and begins to look dejected. You don't think this is funny, do you? He complains. I don't know why I bother. With that, he removes the green wig from his head and flings it aside and goes to sit and sulk in a corner. I'll take the wig, before I apologize to him. You pick up the wig and put it in your pack. The man doesn't seem to care. I'm sorry, you tell him quickly. I didn't understand the joke. Philistine, he mutters, but does not turn around. Leaving the man to his misery, you step back outside where the elven woman smiles at you. Did you enjoy it? She asks. You know what? I got a free wig out of it, so yes. The joke was on him. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Oh, good, the elven woman replies. Marco will be pleased. Everyone else today thought he was rubbish. She waves to you as you leave. I didn't lie. I enjoyed the experience. I mean, it wasn't what he was hoping for, but yeah. From somewhere nearby, you catch a glimpse of a shadowy figure disappearing behind a tent. Something about the way it moves is familiar. I'll follow the figure. Hello, shadow, my old friend. Not darkness, but shadow. You know, you get the feel, right? You push through the crowd, following the dark figure into a narrow gap. Cautiously you enter the narrow space, and suddenly there is a hand at your throat. "I will kill you," breathes a voice you recognize, and I'll laugh with pleasure. You laugh with delight. It's Flanker, the assassin whose life you spared before you reached Torrepani. "Greetings," you declare enthusiastically. Flanker nods. He does not smile, but he seems pleased to see you. "Aha, my friend and my enemy. I see, like myself, you also enjoyed the fun of the Festival of Thieves, and you look as hale as the moment you left me. Your journey has been uneventful so far, I trust. And how have you fared in Khare?" Well, the city is full of devils." Flanker nods and laughs and nods. "Ha ha ha! It is indeed. But at least you have not had to face the portal traps. They will take your smile and move it to your throat, as we assassins say." "Portal traps? I want your help." Flanker nods. "Ask of it, and I shall do what I can." I need to find a man named Lorag. Told to find a priest. Beggar who was noble. I need to find the city nobles. I was told by an old man that they're the only ones who know the spell for the North Gate. Flanker nods. "Indeed, this is true. But I do not know this city well enough to know where you might find them. Perhaps you might appeal to one of Khare's gods." "Which god did you have in mind?" "Slang is not strong enough for such knowledge, I think, though you could try his shrine between the well and the docks," Flanker replies somewhat carelessly. "Otherwise Korga would know, but his temple is by the North Gate." He nods finally. "But I must be away. Perhaps I will see you again later. I will be drinking at the Wayfarer's Rest tonight by the docks. Join me if you will." Wayfarer's Rest or Meat and Cleaver. So yeah, Flanker the assassin who I trust, or a bunch of robbers. Not a hard choice, is it? "Join me if you will." You nod to Flanker and return to the main throng of the fair. Found 2 new clues, and other clues have been updated. Interesting. How many have been updated? None. So, Khare is protected by a series of portal traps. The god Korga may be able to help with your quest for the spell lines to the North Gate. Oh wait. Shrine of Slang. Okay, so no, I don't get the update about his assessment. That won't be very worth following up. But interesting. Well, I'm going to slip out of the fair and go that way. You slip out of the fair and walk across some muddy fields until you join a track. It passes along the edge of the field, rising and falling through the scrub and cut hay before petering out to become a mere goat path. You are no longer sure if this is a real path at all. There's a rocky rise up ahead. I can turn back or go up the rise. Would turn back be going down this way? I don't know. I'm trying to go this way, obviously, right? Is this section written assuming I've come from down here somewhere and I'm heading up that way? I will continue. You crest the rise, intending to get a view of the way ahead, then pause at the sound from behind you. Is the quiet shh of a dagger drawing from its sheath. I'll draw my sword. You spin around, drawing your sword as you turn, to find yourself facing a thug armed with a short sword and cackling with glee. His smile drops a bit when he realizes he has been spotted, but he waves the blade at you nonetheless. What threatened him? Drop that blade, you insist. I don't want to have to hurt you. The thug laughs a little stupidly. Oh yes, he replies. That would make things easier for you, wouldn't it? It seems he has forgotten that it was he who was about to attack you. This'll be easy enough. You assure him. The thug gulps, then moves his arm. A rock he was holding in his other hand strikes you on the side of the head, making you see stars for a moment, but it is not enough to stop you. You launch forward with your sword. That's pretty big. If I hold back a little, that ought to do it. Oh, that was so close to me taking a hit. The thug is perhaps crazy. He screams wildly as he hurtles forwards. You raise your own sword for a brutal attack and knock him to the grasp. The thug can barely find his balance. The thug shifts his grip on his dagger. So, if I'd gone any less there, I would have been hit. If I stay all out on defense, I'm only taking 1 point of damage. Go all out again. I won't get... I'll try it. Oh, yeah. You keep up the pressure. You climb an outcrop and leap forward, lashing out with your sword as you land. His own half-hearted blow is knocked away. The thug is limping now and cursing with fear. The thug steps back. I suspect he may be about to defend. Is that where he was last time? Oh, okay, let's go for it. All out. You batter at his blade. Reaching down, you toss a handful of dust into his eyes and cut him as he staggers. Your strike is more than the thug can take. He strikes the ground, quite dead. No stamina lost. Flawless fighting. And I would, in absolutely no way, be as foolhardy when facing any other foe. I reckon I just got really lucky there on the intuition. That was it. Whew. With the thug dead, the field falls quiet once more. I'm going to search his body. You quickly rifle the thug's body. Apart from his dirk, a useless little blade, he is carrying only a couple of gold pieces which you take and a couple of what look like gambling chips. Oh. Follow the path. I don't want to follow the path. I want to go the other way, you wally. Let me back. So maybe turn around was... So I was told I could take all 3 paths. I suspect I may have to go up this way to do that, but So yes, that was written as if I was coming from the south. The path winds through fields, passing an orchard on one side. The trees are dying and bare of apples. On the other side, across muddy fields, you see the colours and flags of the fair. Then the view is shrouded by tall fences on either side. I'll look at the fences. You know, look at stuff as I go along. Magic. Ooh. You pause to look at the fences. The fields they contain seem ordinary enough, but for some reason the fences themselves are 2 or 3 times your height. There are no ladders to climb over that you can see and no gates. You sense some helpful magic in the stars of this place. Really now? Interesting. Big? Makes a lot of sense, right? Then I could climb over the fences or look over the fences. Sap to be depressed. No. Fences don't get depressed. Sus. Again, helpful magic, not danger. How? Safe. If it's helpful, it's probably already safe. T-E. There'd need to be a mind for me to read, and fences don't have minds. Yeah, I'm going to go with big. You cast the spell, growing to 3 times your normal size, easily tall enough to see over the fences, but there is nothing in the fields they contain except for long grass, which doesn't seem so long anymore. Maybe because I'm so tall. I'll look through the fence instead of over. How bizarre. Peering through the fence, you see a square field of long grass which seems to be ungrazed, and which no one has cropped in a long time. Anything might be hidden in there. Maybe it's a magic field of dangerous... Is it like dangerous blood grass or something? Step over the fence. You step over the fence into the field of long grass. This could end very badly for me. The giant spell fades, leaving you standing in a field of grass that comes up almost to your neck, surrounded on all sides by a tall fence. The field appears to be empty, however. I'll search for grass. Something. Yes, yeah. You crouch low and feel around in the grass to see if there is anything hidden there. Suddenly, something grabs your wrist, holding you down. I'll draw my sword, because I think it's the grass that's holding me. You go for your sword, but you cannot move your arms. You're now being fully held and being pulled down towards the earth. Pray for aid. If I scream for help, no one's going to really listen. So... You begin a quick and fervent prayer to the ape, and after a moment I don't like this. Yeah, so the fences were that I was correct in my initial assessment. After a moment, you feel the grip of your arms and legs loosening. You waste no time and hurry up the fence like a spider, dropping back down gratefully onto the path. So this is like the GM's love of wanting the players to fail so that interesting, fun things like this can happen, right? It's not to be like, oh, I beat you or something nasty happened or whatever. Yeah, I will go back ever so slightly. You know what? I kind of want to go back to the fug and like slip out of the fair. I don't need the gold that badly, right? I want to see if the turn back option. Enter the fair. No, there's literally no way back there. Okay, so in that case, go up, draw my sword. Oh, that does mean I have to try for the fight again. Okay, fine. Let's threaten him just to show restraint. Now, I'm going to go to like here for a lunge. Yep. And then I'm basically going all out every time. There we go. Excellent. Take his coins. Follow the path. Look at the fences. I'll go for a Sorcerer howl. Is sus... It is. You cast the spell and a calm voice enters your mind to tell you that the field is, while not dangerous, a most ill-advised place to visit. The voice then fades without providing any more information. In that case, I don't think I'll get anything particularly good out of it. There is nothing more to see here. So yes, we are heading back up to here and joining this road. You emerge onto a wide road that leads to a gentle slope towards a cliff edge and the crossroads of the hut you passed earlier. I'll make a move because I've been here before. Okay, I can go down this way. So maybe that's how I get on that path. Let's try that. Maybe I'll be able to just search for the body of the many-part man again. You turn back towards the south wall of Khare and follow the main road downhill through the fields, retracing your steps from earlier today. After a short while, you notice the smoking remains of the fire pit off to the left, at the point where the narrow track leads away to the right. I'll look at the fire pit, not expecting anything. Oh, this would be where the poachers were eating the pig, wouldn't it? You pause to look over the fence towards the fire pit. Whoever was there must have left only recently, as smoke still rises and the smell of cooked meat lingers. Enough looking around. Which way will you go? The fire pit? Maybe there's a way of the fight breaking out that doesn't break the crystal ball, that I could then go pick it up now after they've all left. You clamber over the fence and stride across the field towards the smoking remains of a fire. There is a wonderful smell of cooked pork on the air, and the ground is covered in scraps of meat, but there is no one here and nothing on offer to buy. I'll search around just in case. Uh-oh. You take a moment to look around the base of the fire. From the churned mud and footprints, it's clear that there were several people here until too long ago. Suddenly, from behind you, there is a snuffling sound. Something else has been attracted here by the smell. Probably a pig. Wait. Not a pig. A wolfhound slinks out of the darkness. You will have no choice but to fight. I'm going to go about here. Bad decision. The wolfhound creeps towards you, jaws dripping and fur shining wet. You arc your sword for its neck. It bounds forward. You scurry backwards as fast as you can, but you cannot move quickly enough. It takes a piece of your arm. You bring your hand up to staunch the wound. The smell of blood is in the wolfhound's nostril. It licks its lips and with glee. It howls and whimpers, and with that amount of energy left, I think it's going to defend, which means that ought to do it. Yes. You try a lunge. The wolfhound drops back. It scrapes at the ground as if digging its own grave. It's really low on energy again. So, yeah. Not wanting to leave yourself open, you try a gentle stinging strike, but the wolfhound turns tail. Oh, come on, it's running? Leave a bit back. Okay. It came back to fight. The wolfhound rears back and swipes you like a bear. You turn your grip about for a vicious blow. The strike catches him deep. That's really... It never seems to be going back up. It always seems to be exhausted. There's something wrong here. As the wolfhound grows weaker, its snarl gets madder. It's tensing, preparing to pounce. All in. Oh, so close. You turn your sword about for a wild attack. The blade catches him deep. As the wolfhound weakly opens its jaws to bite, you plunge your blade through its teeth and all the way down to its heart. The wolfhound howls, a gurgling, blood-soaked sound, and then it dies. That was reasonably good, I'll take it. With the beast gone, the field falls quiet, but in the mud churned up by the beast, something is glinting. I'll investigate it. Digging into the mud, you unearth a curved shard of crystal. Curious. It can't be part of a jewel, as about the size of the shape of your cupped palm. It's also lethally sharp, so you leave it there. Yeah, I know what that is. You head back to the main road. Okay, so no way of... Interesting. I do like the consequences feeling of that, though. The way that my previous actions have affected what I find there. That's good. I like that. You continue down the road, heading back towards the wall, just visible in the distance. A few buildings appear on the right-hand side of the road. It is quiet, with no one about. You pass by a large structure with its doors wide open. The smell of incense floats out from within, a shrine of some kind. I've been in there before. Where next? Well, I'm not allowed to go back this way? Interesting. Very interesting. So I get to go back up here. The game's like, no, you can't go there, man. We're just not going to let you. The main road continues on for a small... Yeah. To the left, we'll look at a path. A narrow track to your left runs back into the developed lower reaches of the city, winding through thin fields up a shallow rise. Ignoring the whining sound, you not wanting to repeat your experience with the corpse, you stride on. So, if I go this way, I want to get to the square with the... If I go up here, I can come back this way like that. So yes, I probably should because I need the food, right? I'm exploring, okay? I'm exploring. I'm having fun. You leave the road and follow a path as it winds through the fields along the lower edge of a high fault in the rock. I'll look across the fields. Why not, right? As you pass, you see a few creatures working the land, pulling up the voluminous weeds that grow around their tiny fruit and vegetable plants. In some patches, tethered goats graze and have eaten everything green in sight. The whole place seems barren and poor, like it has not rained for a year or more. Talk to a farmer. What could I learn about the nobles? What would a farmer know about the city? I mean, I might learn something about local customs. You stride into the fields, approaching one of the farming figures. Its face is obscured by a wide, flat hat, but you can tell it is not human. It is strangely gangly with long, insect-like arms. I'll watch it work for a little. Hanging back, you notice the farmer's forearms are also sharp-edged. He is using them to scythe the long grass, slicing through the stalks with one limb and gathering them up with the other. Yeah, I'm not going to talk to that. I'm going to leave. The creature looks like it could cut your throat just as easily. You creep back to the path, leaving it undisturbed. Yeah, you carry on, mate. You carry on. You stay on the path until it climbs gently, approaching a low, ruined wall at the back of a grand building. I'll look at the building. We've been here before, right? This is the mansion. You stop to look over the building. It is a tall, three-story mansion, crumbling around the edges now, but it must have once been home to a powerful and important family. It is surrounded by wide grounds, an ornamental garden now overgrown and tangled. The house is bordered by a tall stone wall broken at the path. On the far side, you see an ironwork gate hanging off its hinges. So I'm thinking, right, yeah, I'm going to absolutely go through here. You clamber over the wall into the wide grounds of a grand old house. You are surrounded by a thicket of gorse and thorny gripweed, and through the branches you can see the lower floors of the building. Gorse bushes are incredibly prickly. Gripweed also sounds pretty nasty. I'm getting out of here. You ignore the bushes and glimpses of old stone beneath them and move on around the side of the house. I don't want to fight a big bat, so I'm just going to go this way. There might be something else there to find, but I'm just getting outside. You walk around the house until you reach the street. Tied to a post is a fine-looking horse. Well, look, I'm going to head up the main road. You follow the road past a grand house. A side road appears on the left. Not going to go left. I already know what's there. You keep moving. Yeah, absolutely. And now we're heading up into Dwarf Town once again. But this, I think, is where I'm going to end the episode. It's been quite a lengthy one and hopefully makes up for not uploading the last couple of days. I hope you've all enjoyed this episode of me bumbling through the streets of Khare, and I look forward to seeing you all in the very next one. I'm going to say goodbye for now, and sorry for letting you wait so long for this one. Life just kind of got a bit squiffy on me. See you all soon. Bye-bye for now.